Hello! Welcome to Knit and Kitten podcast number 9. We're so close to 10. Number 9. My name is Mallory, otherwise known as JustADoseOfLove. You can find me all around the internet on Twitter, Reddit, Ravelry, Facebook, and Instagram, which I am most active on under JustADoseOfLove. I am filming in Edmonton, Alberta, where it's probably 8:45 p.m. right now on Thursday, October 18th. So we're more than halfway through the month of October, and Halloween is coming up, and it's really exciting, and I don't know what I'm going to wear yet for Halloween. We got invited to a Halloween party, but it's costumes mandatory, and I don't think I've dressed up in like 3, 4 years, 5 maybe. I don't know if I've dressed up actually since I moved to Edmonton, which was a long time ago. It's coming up on 5 years. It was 5 years in September, so not that it matters, but I moved to Edmonton from Red Deer 5 years ago in August, September, whatever, same thing. So it's been officially 5 years in Edmonton. That's kind of exciting, actually. Oh, I just had this like worried moment where I maybe have lipstick on my teeth. Well, I have no mirror, so I can't see. Sorry if there's lipstick on my teeth. The things you think about, eh? What was I talking about? Doesn't really matter. Knit and Kitten podcast, number 9. I'm just gonna dive in, probably going to get a little sidetracked here and there, but that's kind of what we do now. So I'm gonna start not with what's on my needles like I usually would. What I'm gonna start with is what's off my needles, then we're going to go on stash enhancement, and then we're going to go what's on my needles, because I did buy some new yarn and then I promptly put it onto my needles. So I don't really want to ruin the surprise and then not have anything to talk about because we've already talked about it all. Now, where did I put my Jeffery hat? You'd swear I don't actually put everything together before I start this. I spend like probably a good hour prepping for this podcast every 2 weeks, and you would never know because I keep misplacing things. Anyways, I found my Jeffery hat. It was right here under my show notes. Not a bad place for that to be. And just before I show it to you, this was a hat that I made for Jeffery. Of course, that's why it's called the Jeffery hat. The last time that you saw it, it looked different, and I had a plan. Then I decided I hated it, so I ripped it back to the brim and started over. I was so close to being done too. I was at least 3/4 of the way through this hat, and then I decided I hated it. Oh well, yeah, it's knitting. It's life of a knitter. Anyways, my Jeffery hat, or Jeffrey's Jeffery hat, is in the Louet olive colorway in their gems base, maybe, not sure, gems something, and it is 100% merino. I knitted it up on size 4 US needles, circulars for the brim, and moved to size 6 for the body of the hat. And before, it had like little pillars or columns, if you will, of knit stitch in the middle of a sea of purl with little circles, because I thought it would look really cool, and I just ended up not liking it. So he said, well, that's cool as long as it still has those like tentacle looking things. And I'm like, oh, tentacles, hey, we could do that. So now he has a tentacle hat. So here it is. It's got these big cables and then transitions into these smaller ones and goes like, woo, kind of like a tentacle would. And it looks really cool even here. So hope you can see that and the light's not washing it out too much. And here it is. And I'm ridiculously proud of the fact that there are, in fact, 8 tentacles. Yeah, 8 tentacles, just like an octopus. He wanted a Leviathan hat, so that's what he gets. He actually stayed over last night, and I told him he wasn't allowed to have the hat yet because I needed it for podcast time. Oh, it's got my hair stuck in it already. You ever notice that? Your hair just kind of gets everywhere and then it's everywhere forever. I pick hair off of Connor all the time. I didn't say anything about who I live with. I live with my cat Sasika. She is my heart and my soulmate. And I live with Connor and Chris and the snake Heidi. And I don't like Heidi very much. I'm just not a snake person. I like my pets to be cuddly and soft and furry and, you know, preferably not going to eat any of the other pets in the house. Heidi was moved out of the kitchen into the living room. We had a plan. This is fine. This was partially my idea, and I'm the one who pushed to get her out of the kitchen, but now she's hanging out in the living room right under the TV, so I get to stare at her whenever I'm in the living room. And she's been super active lately, so anyone who's curious, she's a 6-foot ball python. She's kind of getting fat, which is apparently what they do when they stop growing lengthwise. They start growing widthwise. Yeah, it's not okay with her. I'm not okay with Heidi, especially that time that she got loose, and we thought she was in the duct system. She wasn't, but I can't believe they left Sika alone and unattended while the snake was loose. As I put on a tentacle hat. Yeah, I know. Ugh. So here is Jeffrey's hat that he can have now that it's been on the podcast, and I can show it to you. I think I'll probably have a call out for it. I think this will probably be a real pattern. I think so. Yeah. That's months away still. I still have my Connor's hat that needs to go out. Oh, I'm so behind. Anyways, now that my hair is all messed up, because I do that every time. I spend all this time making my hair all not crazy, and then I put a hat on, and then I take it off. Maybe this time it won't be. Ooh, really distractible tonight. It's been a bit of an off day. I have a meeting every Thursday morning. I have my meeting with the cleaning technicians. Usually it's at 7:30. My normal start time is 8, but the last little bit I've agreed to come in at 7:15 to get everything prepped for the time that they get there, so we're not me walking in just before 7:30 and everyone else walking in just before 7:30 and then getting things set up for the meeting. Now I have some prep time ahead of time. And this morning, oh, and it's also my lunch meeting day, so I'm part of this group called BNI, Business Networking International, and it's a networking group that gets together every Thursday and it has a phenomenal lunch, and it's networking with other businesses that are part of that group. It's been really good, but Thursday is like my meeting day. I have the meeting with the cleaners, and then BNI lunch meeting, and used to be the same day as office meetings, so it used to be really crazy, but now it's just the two big meetings. Anyways, walked downstairs this morning to get my laundry, because it's meeting day, and I'm like, oh crap, I can't believe I didn't turn the dryer on last night. I put my clothes in the wash, switched them over, put the second load of clothes in the wash, and clearly didn't start the dryer. Turn the dryer on, thump, thump, thump. I'm like, oh no, there must be too many clothes in here or something. So take some of the clothes out, turn it back on, thump, thump. Like, oh, that's not good. Take all of the clothes out, turn it on, thump, thump. It sounds like there is a shoe flailing around in my dryer, and there's no clothes in it. I'm like, I have no clean clothes. Well, I guess I did. I have some clean clothes, but they're like the clothes at the back of my closet, the clothes that I never wear, and that's how my morning started. Dryer's not working. This is not what I want to deal with at 6 in the morning. This is not what I want to deal with. So that was my morning. Chris is working on the dryer right now. Fingers crossed that he's going to figure it out. I believe in you. You can't hear me, but I believe in you. If not, we'll figure it out. It's just kind of a pain in the butt. It's way off topic. So it's been a weird day. Weird day. Dry not working. Woke up early. Went to my meeting. Had a really neat estimate on site today. And then, got together with Lissa. Lissa's one of my friends that I grew up with. We met in grade 4 and then went to the same school and stuff and kind of stopped talking after we graduated. And recently we've been chatting a bit. Hung out, went for coffee a couple weeks ago. Got together. Her and Jeff came over one night, hung out, and then today her and I met up for bubble tea. And we are planning to do some pumpkin carving for my birthday, I think. But I'll talk more about that later. Doesn't really matter. What am I talking about? Not that. I'm talking about Jeffery Hat. Jeffery Hat's done. I'll talk more about all the life stuff at the end. Yes, there's a time and place. Okay. Jeffery Hat. All done. I'm so proud. He's going to wear it everywhere. Around the world. Lucy better. You better. Okay. Stash enhancement. I did get some yarn this week, last weekend. I got some yarn. So let's go through this one first. I got some yarn for my mom for some Christmas socks. I'm going to make her the Farmer's Daughter socks in this colorway. So Mom, if you're watching, cover your eyes. You're not allowed to look. So I hope the color shows up true to what it is. It's quite blue, actually. This is way more blue. I thought it was kind of a bluey green, but in this light it's super blue. Whatever. I really like it. So this is Cascade yarns in the Heritage base, I believe. It is color number 5720, which is great because I can say that. 5720. And it is 7525 superwash merino nylon. So I think it'll be really nice for the Farmer's Daughter socks because it's not going to get the pattern lost in a whole bunch of variations of colors. It's just a nice solid, and I think it'll be really nice and she'll really like them. She just really likes her. Oh, hey, this wasn't even attached to my project. Well then, here we go. I think it's pretty. I think it'll be great, and it's really soft. This is really soft. So there. That was stash acquisition number 1. And then while I was there, I saw this. So this is Black Cat Custom Yarns. Yes, Black Cat Custom Yarns. I made my mom a pair of socks in this last Christmas, not in this colorway, in one of her colorways. It was called Chocolate Mint. So it was a green with, it looked like mint ice cream. Chocolate mint ice cream, of course it did. Chocolate mint ice cream, and it was sparkly. And that's what she got last year for her socks. And yes, I found this, which is her Electric Dragonfly colorway on the Everyday Sock base, and look at it! Oh, isn't that gorgeous? I absolutely love it. It's just, this is kind of a green. I hope it shows up like a green. It might show up a little bit blue, but it's like a really light green. That kind of makes me think of some sort of ice cream, but the rest of it so nice and purplies and different kinds of purples and like a light pink. I fell in love with it. I was just like, what am I going to do with this though? But it is socks. They're going to be socks for me. And then I was looking like, oh, those two actually go really well together. So I am currently making a pair of socks with contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs and body of the sock. And I'll show you that in a minute. So those are my 2 stash acquisitions. Oh, this one, by the way, it's not 75-25%, it's 80%, 20% superwash merino nylon. And if you haven't checked out some of her colorways, you absolutely should. Although you do need to make sure when you're looking on Instagram, you're looking at Black Cat custom yarns, not just Black Cat yarns. I have made that mistake. So, my 2 stash acquisitions. Yes. Loving them. I'm loving them. Got 3 minutes, so I am currently working on a test sock for Kimiko, and it is her Stella Bella Honey sock, and it's in her Sweet Child of Mine series. And full name Kimiko McGarren. I'm sorry. I'm not going to try again. You can find her on Instagram under Kimiko_MC_Knitspired. She also has the Knitspired podcast on YouTube, and I think she's adorable. She did test a pair of socks for me, and I'm just super stoked to be testing this one for her. And I'm using both of those colors that I just showed you because I think they're amazing. And she did say I could show this, so here it is so far. And I think it is just adorable. Look at that. I was worried that the pattern would be getting lost in just how busy the electric dragonfly is, but now that I'm like partially way through the pattern, I'm still working on the leg, but now that I'm part of the way through it, I actually really like it. I'm not too worried about that anymore. It sticks out really nice. Really, really well. And I'm knitting this up on my 2.5 mil Addi circulars. I believe that's US, actually I'm not even going to try. I'm not sure which US size that is. So this is the front, and then she's got this super cute cable that goes down the back, just this little cabling. I love it. I've never seen anything like that. I think it is the best. I think it's really going to add something to the back of this sock. Yep. So I hope that showed up really well. This is 2 repeats of the pattern, and the pattern calls for 4 before starting the heel. And I always do, oh, I don't want to lose a stitch. I always do my heels afterthought. Always, always, always. And her pattern has it written with a heel gusset, so this is going to be interesting. I'm a little scared. But I'm sure it'll be fine. And who knows, maybe I will discover that I love heel gussets. Who knows? Yes. So that's what's going on my needles right now. Definitely will have one finished before next podcast. Hoping to have 2 finished before next podcast. Because she does she does have a deadline on the pattern test. So alright, so I was talking about how much of a pain in the butt it is to weave in ends. And it's not really. I really don't mind it. My only problem with it is when I do have it on my circulars, flipping it over to actually weave them in and getting it far enough down, I worry about losing my stitches, and that's the last thing I want to do when I'm working with, you know, any sort of eyelets, anything lace, anything cable. That is, I don't want to lose stitches, so that's it. So we'll have one of those for next podcast. What's next? Tea! What am I drinking tonight? Tonight I'm drinking another bagged tea, and it's double spiced chai. I should probably get on the right page here. Double spiced chai. So it's got cinnamon, ginger root, clove bud oil, allspice, cardamom oil, and pumpkin spice bay leaves. Because that's actually one of their recommendations. If you want like a pumpkin spice chai, they're like, oh, just throw some in with tea. So this is the first time I'm trying this. The only thing about this huge, adorable cup is that my tea gets cold quick. So, yeah. Oh yeah, that's where it's at. It's even good when it's cold. Oh yeah, that's good. Put that there. I'd actually like to show you one of my yarn decorations that I've put up for the living room. really it's just extra yarn stash, scraps, leftovers. Yeah. One second. So, like I had kind of mentioned last podcast, Jeff painted the living room, as you can see, with my gorgeous light bluish gray wall. I love it. It brightens this room up so nice, and my walls kind of curve into the ceiling, and then around the ceiling where it actually, flattens out, there's a strip that's about a foot wide, and that's more of a blue, and then on the inside it's like an off-white kind of textured. I love it. This room is so nice and bright now during the day, and it's way less green tinged at night with the lights, and I'm so happy with it. All of the stupid paint splotches are gone, and most of the holes are filled, and I couldn't be happier. It's not a downside. It's not a downside at all. The only, not a complaint, thing is that putting the living room back together has been a process. There was a whole bunch of things that I wanted to change around once we finally got around to painting the living room, because once we painted it, it's like, okay, well, if we're painting it, I want to take the wall shelving unit down, and we want to move the TV, mount that on the wall, move the snake, put more floating shelves up. I had a bookcase here before, like one of the really crappy ones, and a filing cabinet, one of the longer, short ones, and those are both gone now, so I didn't have to, but I wanted to find a replacement for my filing cabinet, and I have what I guess is technically an entertainment stand, but it's more like a cabinet with glass doors. It's cherry color, and you can't see it because it's too short. But now it's where my printer is, and all of my paperwork that was inside my filing cabinet is really neatly in this cabinet, along with all of the craft supplies that I had in my filing cabinet, because really mostly it was just craft supply storage. I should be embarrassed about that, but I'm not. So all of my paper crafts are in here now, and like all of the extra small canvases that I have are in there, and I don't know, I don't really remember what's in there, but basically anything stationary craft is down in there. And then I have my nerd shelf. I'm not sure how much of it you can see, but it's got my games and some of my comics and my fairy tales. It has my Calvin and Hobbes, and then my crocheted Calvin and Hobbes on top of that. It has my Buffy comics and my little Spike bobblehead, and it has my Thor comics and my stuffed Thor and my Thor bobblehead, and I am so happy with my little nerd shelf. I love it so much. I love it so much. And then up above that shelf there's another floating shelf that has all of my smart books. It has one of my owl statues, so it's got little wise owl with all of the National Geographic books, and some of my old college books that I still have because I still like, and my book-shaped bookends. And anyways, up there as well I have some of my yarn decoration. So found a cute little vase. Actually no, this one was already here, and kind of piled my extra yarn in there in the color of the rainbow. That's what I was trying to do anyways. Purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. And that's just hanging out on my wise shelf with my wise owl, with my wise yarn. Is wise yarn a thing? I don't know. Anyways, one of my favorite decorations. I also have one yarn jar over there that has some cute little yarns in it, and one over there. Over there, I wish I could show you that shelf because it's technically a CD shelf, so it's not very wide, but it's as tall as the door, and it has probably 6 shelves worth of books on there, like, not very many, so all my series that go together are over there. And then for some reason I have like one of the metal labels that go on school doors for the library. It's like and it says library, so I don't know why I have that, but I do. And that's on one shelf right above all my books. So I'm really happy that I finally get to put that out. And then some yarn, and then I have these cute little owl ornaments that are like, one's playing a flute and one's playing a sax and one's like carrying food. My little owl band is up there, and my ridiculous ridiculous lion piggy bank. Yep. And another wise owl. And for Christmas a couple years ago, we didn't have a tree topper, so I made a tree topper out of toothpicks in the shape of a D20. And that's what we do here. A little nerdy. So, really happy with that one. Oh, and then I have this little tiny mirror that has like the shape of a sunflower outside of it, or on the outside. And I have like a little phases of the moon thing that used to hang in my bedroom. It's just got like phases of the moon with about that much chain in between, so it's pretty long. It's probably like 4 feet long, and I have that hanging right behind the sunflower, so it kind of looks like an actual sunflower, just the way it looks. And this is ridiculous because you can't actually see any things I'm telling you about, and I'm not very descriptive. But maybe I'll put pictures up at some point. Yes. I love my living room. I cleared out a space in my craft dresser that you used to see behind me in every podcast for more yarns, and I have 2 yarn dresser drawers, which is great. And everything else is still trying to find a bit of a place. So that's kind of why I'm podcasting over here today instead of in my normal spot, but I kind of like this background. So maybe we'll stick with it. Yeah. And all the pictures are back up. Honestly, it's so cozy in here. I love it. Yes. Dryer's broken. Yep. Living room is crazy different. Really is. Halloween costumes. Alright, so we did get invited to that Halloween party. Costumes are required. I have no idea what to wear. I grew up always making my costumes, and there's not much that I could make in that short time, but I am a little bit opposed to going to buy a costume, just because that's how I grew up, and I don't know, it seems like kind of a waste of money. Thoughts? Ideas? I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's kind of the point where I'm like, well, maybe I don't want to go because it's too much work. And I just don't know. Yeah. Anyone else doing something for Halloween? This will be on the 26th, the Halloween party is. And Halloween is actually what? Wednesday? Yeah, it falls on a Wednesday this year. Yep. And that's why we're going to be doing pumpkin carving for my birthday. It's starting to be a little bit of a tradition, which I am absolutely okay with. I love carving pumpkins. I think it's a great time. The only downside is then you have all these pumpkins. What do you do with them? I like giving out candy on Halloween, having the pumpkins in the windows, but it's too cold here to actually have them outside, and people are kind of jerks, so you never know what, you know, if you leave a pumpkin outside. Yeah. Oh well. That's about it. Oh, I kind of wanted to show you my necklace, though. I made a necklace. I bought all the parts and I assembled them, so I went a little bit bead crazy and bought a whole bunch of beads and this little lotus thing. But they're all super shiny, and I really like it. I've always had a thing for the sun catchers that make rainbows in the window. And it kind of makes me think of that every time I look at this now. Really like it. I made a second one as well. Yeah, I had a weird dream. I had a dream about a necklace, so I kind of sought out to make it. It's not this one, it's the other one. Maybe I'll show you sometime. It's kind of red themed. I was wearing blue today, so I thought this might be nice. Anyways, that's it. That's all. I'm just rambling now. So I'll cut it here before I start talking about crazy things. Yes. Anyways. That's it. That's actually it. That's all. Come here, third page. Alright, so If you have anything you want to say, ask, comment, feel free to email me at mallory@JustADoseOfLove.com or to comment down below. Show notes are also down below. As anything I talk about, I try and put down there. If you liked this, feel free to subscribe. I do put podcasts out every 2 weeks. I try and do it on Thursday. It's been Friday for a while, so I might as well just switch it to Friday, I think. We do badminton on Wednesdays, which would be my ideal recording night. So it kind of throws things off a little bit. Oh, this is not related to anything, but Ashley and I signed up for an ASL course. That's going to be really neat. It's going to be on Thursdays, and it's just like a beginner American Sign Language, so that'll be really cool. I am quite excited about that. Yep. Anyways, I'm just going to cut it here. I hope you have an awesome night and a good week. I will see you next time.